YouTube, Encrypt coming to you here from the Cathers Family Land server. I've got a project that I want to get started on tonight, and I thought I'd introduce y'all to what the plans are. And tonight, it has to do with villagers. So this is my villager trader hall, inspired by British row homes I saw on British television watching Doctor Who. We've got all of our villagers in here, and what I would like to do is swap out all of the villagers that don't have top-end trades for villagers that do have top-end trades. For example, this villager that has Unbreaking 3 and Depth Strider 3, that guy we want to keep because he's a good trade. Some other ones, the Sharpness 5, yes, he's a keeper. Lore 3, absolutely a keeper. This guy over here with Unbreaking 2 and Looting 1, yeah, not so much. We can kind of lose her. So, we've got a couple of problems that we're looking to solve. The first one, of course, is the fact that not all the babies fall down the hole, so I wind up having a whole bunches of villagers in this breeding cell that occasionally I have to go in and slaughter. That's no good. The second problem is I've got all these villagers queued up here, and we can get so many that we can crash the server. The third problem is the only place that I've got to test the villagers is in the alley behind the houses. So that's the problems that I'm dealing with. Now here's the solutions. I have a little field, and I'm going to turn that into a villager farming cell. This area here is going to be gutted out and turned into a villager breeding cell. And then someplace over here, I'm going to create a spot where I can test villagers. When it comes to villager testing, I've got two choices. I can try and do something with this space in between the two buildings, polish it up and make it look a little better. The other option is I can come down here to the bank. Originally built to hold 2 villagers from 1.7 that had an infinite paper trade, the bank currently sits on top of the sugarcane farm, the cactus farm, the Iron Titans bulk crafting station, and the bulk iron block storage area. This would be a perfect place to be testing all of those villagers. So that's the plan. I've gathered some resources, so we'll whip around here and take a look at what's going on in here. I've got seeds galore. These are left over from last harvests in the past. So I've got seeds galore, and we're going to use them to fill up the farmers' inventories with. I've been doing a little bit of research, and what I'm going to do is, my original farm was these columns of 2 wide, so I'm going to strip off the top of these columns right now, and that's going to expose the water that I was using to hydrate the farmer fields, and we don't need as much water as what I've laid down here. So I'm getting 2 pieces of resources back. One, I'm getting the cobble and exposing the water, and I'm also getting all of these torches, which I'm going to use to sink some pumpkins down underneath this water and clean it up a little bit. And you can see we got some leftovers here from probably some zombies stepping on it. And so yeah, I'm going to take the dirt out in a certain pattern. I like to go every 5th one. I like to every 5th spot I like to make a pumpkin, submerged pumpkin that gives the appropriate lighting and keeps the spawning down. So I went over and I raided my pumpkin farm, which the automated pumpkin farm is right over there. And yeah, that's actually something that I'm still planning on doing a tutorial on. I think it's a design I haven't seen before, although I must admit it's yeah, I got that. I was inspired by Tango's sugarcane farm. He had a bud-powered piston setup, and I wound up taking the bud power and turning it 90 degrees to the right and turning that into a melon and pumpkin farm. and set it up so that way it just automatically gathers, and because it's in the spawn chunks, it goes crazy. I've got more melon than I can possibly eat. One of the reasons I asked the family to join the server was to help me eat the melon. I just had too much of the stuff. So yeah, I gotta put that melon farm out there because it just chews away forever. It's to the point now where it's all jammed up, and I haven't even bothered to clean it up yet because it's so jammed. So yeah, so here we are. We're just munching away at this block, and actually this is going to start spawning soon, so I'm going to quickly take off, go take a little nap so that way I can stop the spawning, and I'll be right back. Ah, that was silly of me. Alright, I took a nap, but I went and ender pearled all over the place willy-nilly and completely forgot that, whoops, I wasn't wearing my armor. So let me quickly get dressed so that way in case any zombies come along or I cast any more ender pearls, I don't wind up spleefing myself to death. Alright, so here we are. We got all those dug out, and what I'm going to do is I want to turn all of those torches I got into jack-o'-lanterns. So here we go. I'll take the leftover torches, tuck them away, save them for a rainy day. That's wheat. We'll be playing with that soon enough. And alright, so I'm not going to make you watch Counting with Encrypt. There's too many other episodes out there of people doing counting things. So what I'm going to do is I'm looking to go every 5th one, and that's going to make things a little interesting here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So yeah, some of the water's going to have to move, and things are going to get. I'm going to fill all of this in with dirt and turn it all into hydrated farmland. I'm going to have to cut these end caps off and replace them with dirt as well. So see, it's all going to wash out. Sadness would ensue, but oops, there we go, we're all capped up again. So alright, let me go ahead and fill all these in. Placing dirt blocks. Boring, boring, boring. Yeah, nobody wants to watch that. I don't even want to edit the film of me placing dirt blocks. It's absolutely horrible. Hideous, hideous, hideous. Alright, I'll be right back. Alrighty, so real quick Minecraft day later, what I've got is all of those rows where I used to run and harvest are now filled in preparation for bringing in some of the farmers. Still have the rows that are full of water source blocks, but I figured I'll fill them in after I'm done getting all the pumpkins laid. So what we're doing now is setting up to lay pumpkins, and got our buckets for grabbing a nice water, and here on the horse track for doing timing of horses, these are laid out every 5th one. So this is actually, I can key right off of this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This one's going to make me a liar. So alright, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It did, it made me a liar. Alright, so we do not want a pumpkin here. And I'm going to need to get me a dirt block, fill that puppy back in, and recover that. So yes, so I said what we're looking to do is go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and click, and here comes Mrs. Encrypt asking all kinds of embarrassing but important questions, like who I'm talking to. No, I'm doing a recording. So 1, 2, 3, and we can break that and that. And now I can smack this guy right here on this corner, and pop goes the daisy, and we'll just go ahead and fill him in right now. Oh, really? That stinks. Alright, so now I need that water source black. Water bucket. Ow! Fail. There we go. Much better. Alright, so now let's go ahead and get carpet and carpet. 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 There we go. Oh. Okay, I'm going derp today. Alright, so let's see what we got here. One more time. And carpet. And carpet, and break, and there we go. And now we can just hoe these two, and this guy here he'll go 8 blocks in every direction, but we're not gonna wait for that long. We're gonna go 5, simply because we want to keep the light levels high. It also helps the growing, it reduces the spawn. I know that they can't really spawn on these chunks because they're not really full blocks, but just in case, it makes me nervous. And also, if you're up in the Space Needle looking down, seeing this area as a lit area kind of makes it look good. So yeah, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we're gonna bust this, chop that, and another fail. Gotta go down 2 blocks, and we're gonna sink this guy, and we're gonna grab a water source, and we're gonna put it in here. And why is he down that deep? We don't know, because we epically failed. Stick that there, plop that there. Everything's looking good, and let's go ahead and put a dirt block so that way we can smack down our carpet. And I did make more carpet. We're gonna need more carpet. We're going to need a lot more carpet. Alright, good thing I happen to have a load of black wool from my sheep farm. So yeah, this should get us going. And then, of course, what I'm going to do is 1, 2, 3, 4, and this would be number 5. So 4 blocks in between. And then this guy, of course, is going to go 1, 2, 3, 4... Seriously? 1, 2, 3, 4. Sweet. This one here, I'm not going to have to do a lot of digging. Just slap and place crazy blocks like I almost knew what I was doing. Alright, so yeah, and then this is going to get eventually a whole bunch of seeds. And voila. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to rope this guy off, and these runs are 32 blocks in length. I did that because back when I was farming this manually, you held 64, and this here was the center, and you had 2 rows of 32. 2 times 32 is 64. The math all worked out nice. So yeah, these blocks are 32 long, so I'm figuring if I can do a nice like 16 by 16 farm, then cut this in half, and might have to extend it out 2 blocks, so that way we've got a nice, I don't know, we'll be able to put a nice, nice banister here. So I'm gonna look at that, and yeah, I want to slice off the first one and get a farmer in here, and just see if I can get him doing what he's supposed to be doing. And then we're gonna have to lay all the mine carts down underneath, and oh yeah, lots and lots more fun to come. And I've got a special idea I want to try out. I'm kind of excited about what to do when we have these pumpkins underneath. How are we going to collect when these pumpkins are underneath? So, alright, so let me get that done, and I'm going to back out, and yeah, so catch you up in a couple of minutes. Alright, time for a little update. Got to admit, I'm a little disappointed. Not in this part. This went really well. Got a 16 by 16 block squared off. Everything's nice and pretty, and you can see you got every 5 spots. You've got the pumpkins are all sunk, and everything's looking wonderful. But this is where we started to have a problem, and I've got to kill my sounds. Alright, so this is what my brilliant idea was, is that, oh, well, we'll just squeeze a cart underneath these pumpkins. You cut the dirt out from underneath the pumpkin and have this powered cart going, and wrong. So yeah, I completely foobarred that one and miscalculated. Over here I tried working with either glowstone or sea lanterns, thinking that they might be transparent blocks like glass and that it would go right through it. Nope, still wrong. Didn't work. Didn't work with glowstones, not working with sea lanterns either. So no joy. Alright, I gotta rethink this one and come up with another brilliant idea. Hopefully my next one will be a little more brilliant than this one. Alright, catch you in a little bit. Alright, time for another update. So, as you can see here, I have conceded defeat. I'm not going to be able to build underneath of what was already there. So I scraped off the layer of the fields. You can see the hole that I was digging for trying to slip the minecart system underneath. And I'm not going to be able to do that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go for a 3-layer design. So I'm going to put crawls, wheat farm on the bottom because I want wheat, and then I'm going to go for, oh goodness, I've got to remember his name. Alright, quick look on the other computer, and Unary Bit is the other guy's wheat farm. So what I'm looking at is going to be layer 1 right down here is going to be crawls, wheat farm, and 2 layers of Unary Bit, 1 for potatoes and 1 for carrots. So I'm going to have all 3 of the standard crops produced in this area stackable. And the reason I scraped off everything is I'm going to want to create a shell that goes around this that's somewhat aesthetically pleasing, and I'm going to need the space, so I needed to back it up from this road, because what I'm thinking of is, since it's going to be 3 stories, making some kind of Japanese style pagoda. And Lord knows, I don't know if it's going to work or not. I'm pretty sure that the cactus plants over there that was my original cactus farm, they're going to go bye-bye. Underneath the bank, I've got a cactus farm sitting right next door to the reed farm, and it's producing more cactus than I know what to use. It's going to start jamming up pretty soon. So yeah, that's the status. What I'm going to do is I'm going to dig down 2 layers now, and I'm going to lay a steel floor. I'm going to bust out these bricks, and I'm going to lay a steel floor, and I'm going to put all the pumpkins down for lighting. I'm going to map out a cart system. Unary Bits is a 29 by 29 footprint, and crawls is an 18 by 18. So crawls is going to fit underneath, but what I'm thinking I'm going to do, reading up on the villager mechanics and how they do their breeding, I'm thinking that I'm going to make crawls also a 29 by 29, but he's going to be a square, and then Unary Bits has the circular. So stand by, let me go ahead and dig this out and get the first layers laid, and I will be back in a second. Alrighty, time for an update. As you can see, I've made a little bit of progress. Let's get down there and take a look-see a little closer. Starting to see here what the first tier of this thing's going to look like. This is going to be, of course, the flower bed. These are going to be water source blocks, and this minecart is going to run around underneath and pick up all the drops from our villager as he works. This right here is the hopper drop-off station by Impulse, and you can see here what we've got is comes in, sits on this hopper. If there's anything in the cart, sticks it into the chest down here, and then, you know, as the material flows, it goes and passes by this comparator that picks it up. Of course, this comparator turns off this torch. I did have to bend this a little bit. Normally the torch is over here and there's a block on top of it, and this is where the repeater is standing, but I needed this to stay as a blank drop shaft for the layers that are above. So yeah, this thing here will come along. It'll power, you know, that torch will power this repeater powers this block, that block powers this rail, and the cart is off to the races again. So yeah, that's how this is going to work, and that cart is on a nice little handy dandy loop. And as you can see here, I did like nasty cart track, and I do have a couple of dead spots, one right here and one right over there. I marked them with iron, so and I keep falling off the edge. So yeah, that's what it's going to look like for the time being, and I'm just going to put a stake in those 2. That's going to be exposed, but that's alright, because this is all, as you can see, going to be covered by dirt. And yeah, we'll get. Let me go ahead and get all of this dirt put down. I'm gonna do the entire layer here. I think I'm gonna till it, and I want to put a border of glass around here that's two pieces tall. That's going to give our a boundary for our villager. And oh yeah, I've got to get the water sources in here and cover them up with carpets. So yeah, let me go ahead and get that cooking, and I will be back in just a minute. Alright, time for another little update. As you can see, things are looking green. Alright, let's jump down and take a closer look. So yeah, that's the infinite water supply I had going on while I worked these guys in here. So yeah, you can see I've got my happy villager. I took the time to find an actual farmer villager to do this. I tried it with a leather worker, and she didn't seem to be interested in the crops. So yeah, this one's a farmer. And what you do is you fill up their inventory with seeds. And since her inventory is already full, when she goes around and she busts the crop, everything lays on the ground. You can see it's right here. Oop, I just picked it up. So I'll go ahead and throw that back down on the ground. And the cart will come along momentarily and pick that up. And I went and cleared the chest down below. As you can see here, I had this long train coming from the villager breeder over there, sorting out villagers. And what I did is I just laid stacks of 64 along this track, and I laid like 15 stacks, and she picked up like the first 10. So that worked out quite well. I knew when she was done. Ah! Loud piggies. I'm gonna have to take care of them. So yeah, this chest right here up, and you can see we got seeds, we got wheat, and I'm not gonna have to work at all for it. It's slow. I'll concede. It is a slow process to start with, but the benefit to me is I don't have to lift a finger. She'll just sit in there and chew away on the wheat, and that'll mean that I've got a wheat crop with absolutely no effort on my part. And that was a failed jump. Epic fail. Epic fail. Alright, so yeah, now what we've got going on here is I'm going to do the little trick that pops this guy, so that way she, no matter what, always feels like she's got something. She'll see this spot. And that's the trick for the next 2 layers up here. To keep the villager constantly in motion and not let them rest at all, is to have this spot right here just always be available. It makes them feel like they've always got something to do. She should see this in a minute. Maybe if I nudge her over to pick it up. But she should see that and then want to go plant it. And that should keep her moving all the time. She may be in the defensive mode right now because I haven't zombie-proofed. Why are you running to the zombie? He is not your boyfriend. Not your long-lost boyfriend. Hey, girls. So, yeah, hopefully she'll go ahead and plant this in a second, and she'll feel like all excited and everything. Oh, shoot. Let's see. Do I have... I do. Oh, see, there she goes. She just planted it, and I just realized I've got 2 water sources that I need to put right here. So let me go ahead and take care of that real quick. Obviously, I haven't been eating. All those experience points you see down there are all from trading with villagers while I waited. Well, I tried to find a farmer villager. Really wanted a farmer. Alright, so let's go back and get them done. Come on. So yeah, this is really well lit. They're not spawning in here. What's happening is that the bad guys are coming in from out there. And oh, you know what? This one should be a pumpkin. I can't do this one as a pumpkin because that's my power. But that should be a pumpkin. Get a little extra light in here while we're at it. I don't know how that's going to work. I'm going to have to put glass there. Yeah. Let's get, well, if nothing else, for the immediate future, that'll be lit. If I cover it with iron blocks, it's not going to matter. Alright, so let's see. Pump this. Yep. Okay. And, I had to completely redo this whole half because I misplaced the block. It was a hole right here, and the pumpkin underneath was covered, and so it was a straight shot down. I placed a water source, and I come back and I hear running water, and I scrape this back, and I'm like, ah! And of course, in the process of trying to clean it up, I opened up 2 more that I had placed, so this whole entire side was completely done. And that's not a pumpkin. That's a pumpkin, not a light. So that's a fail. Alright, let's go get a jack-o'-lantern. I think I did say pumpkin, and that's exactly what I got. There we go, there's the jack-o'-lantern. Yay. Oh, I just heard her break something. Oh yeah, that's bad. Should not leave that open when this isn't completely zombie-proofed. Okay, there's that. And there's some water for hydration. And a little bit more. And for the time being, I like jamming them into the side of the hitbox of the plant. It makes me feel like I'm like pro or something. Alright. And that should take care of it. This layer's done. What I'm going to do now is I got to lay a roof. It should be too tall. I'm just going to go back and double check the dimensions from the tutorial for the next platform, and make sure that it's 2 blocks tall and not 2.5 or 3 blocks, excuse me. And yeah, so I will join you in a moment. Let's take a little hot shot up there. Let's see if I can do this. I've been failing at my undershots all night. And there we go. Alright, be back in a minute. Hey guys, this is Encrypt from the future. So this episode's taking a little longer than I thought it was going to take when I originally planned it out. As you can see behind me, a lot of changes are happening in the spawn area. I'm getting a lot of stuff done, and I'm going to go ahead and break this one into part 1 and part 2, and I'm cutting part 1 here. But don't worry, part 2, all the film footage is in the can and it's ready to go, and I'm going to have it out real quick. So just hold tight, stay fast, and thanks for watching. You have a good one. See you in a bit. Encrypt out.